Okay, this book is called Camper Kim. It is for pre-reader steps 10, 11, and 12. In the workbook, it talks about the fact that this book emphasizes words with capital letters, because that is what this workbook is teaching, is the capital letters. And it asks you to first of all take a picture walk through the story like every other book. Have them predict what might happen to Camper Kim in the story, and then explain to them that capital letters are like signals that help the reader. They are used as the first letter in a word. And so they have 4 different things here that show when a capital letter is used: at the start of a sentence, in someone's name, in the name of a specific place, in the name of a day of the week or month. And then they've got different activities here that you can do, having the children look for words in the story that have capital letters. If they point to a word with a capital letter, then you can discuss which one of these reasons makes that word to need a capital letter. Okay, so doing a picture walk, we can talk again about the setting of the story. This story takes place in the forest with some forest animals. But to begin with, the setting is in their home. That's where that one is. But again, you're doing a picture walk. The children can observe the different things in the story, and they can make predictions of what's going to happen in the story. And then after they've done their picture walk, that's when you can go back and read the story to them. And like I've said in other videos, you may not have time to do both a picture walk and read the book on the same day, and that's okay. That's not a problem, because picture walks are important as well, because the children are using describing words as they're looking at the book, and describing words are important as well. I will read the story next, and then we'll go over some of the extension learning opportunities this book has to offer. Camper Kim. Mom has to work, says Dad. Let's go camping at Little Pond. Can we go to Big Lake, please? Asks Kim. Big Lake is far away, says Tim. That hike is hard. I can do it, Kim shouts. Okay, says Dad, we'll go to Big Lake. I'm sorry I will miss it, Mom tells them. Have fun at Big Lake. Dad, Tim, and Kim hike up Brown Hill. They hike up and up. The hike is hard. Kim huffs and puffs. Dad, Tim, and Kim hike up Rocky Ridge. They hike up and up. It's hard for Kim to keep up with Dad and Tim. They walk across Rolling River Bridge. Kim catches up with Tim. They go down a hill. They see Big Lake. What a good spot, says Tim. Let's set up camp, says Kim. Let's rest first, says Dad, then set up camp. Dad and Tim lie down for a nap. But Kim wants to set up camp. She gets up and goes to the lake. She sees a fox. Hi, Fox, says Kim. Will you help me set up the tent? Yes, said Fox, I will. So Kim and Fox set up the tent. Then Kim sees a skunk. Hi, Skunk, says Kim. Will you help me get wood for the campfire? Yes, says Skunk, I will. So Kim and Skunk pick up wood for the campfire. Then Kim sees a chipmunk. Hi, Chipmunk, says Kim. Will you help me gather nuts and berries for dinner? Yes, says Chipmunk, I will. So Kim and Chipmunk pick nuts and berries for dinner. Then Kim sees a frog. Hi, Frog, says Kim. Will you help me catch fish for dinner? Yes, says Frog, I will. So Kim and Frog go fishing. They catch some fish for dinner. Then Dad and Tim wake up. Who set up the tent? Asks Dad. Who got the wood for the campfire? Asks Tim. Who got the nuts and berries? Asks Dad. Who got all the fish? Asks Tim. We did, says Kim. My pals Fox, Skunk, Chipmunk, and Frog helped me. What a good job, says Dad. You are a great camper, says Tim. Thanks. I like camping, says Kim. Okay, so again with this story, because there are so many animals in this story that are not found in Liberia, I have in the document, I have printed out pictures of, so here's a picture of a rabbit and a rabbit description, a picture of a skunk and the description of a skunk, as well as a fox description, chipmunk description. And that way, if the children are actually interested or you want to do extension activities, that's a good way to do extension activities. So making this book so much more than just learning about capital letters. Now, obviously, capital letters are the first and foremost thing that you're going to be teaching the children in this book. And so after you have read the book, then the children can have a look and find the capital letters. So in this case, the M for mum is capital, and you would go through the reasons why we use capital letters, and this is at the beginning of a sentence, so that is why that is a capital letter. And then we have little pond. Both of those are capital letters, so that is the name of a specific place, and that is why they're capital letters. And so all through the book, there are capital letters that the children can find and point out. It's another good way for them to know that this is the letter M as well, so they can point to that. And here is Big Lake. So the B and the L are uppercase letters, so that is because it is a specific place. Tim is an uppercase letter, so that is the name of a person, so that is why that one is a capital letter. So just going through and having the children point out all the capital letters in the book, then, and you can do a game even with capital letters. So let's say on page 4, you could have them count how many capital letters there are. So Dad, Tim, Kim, Brown, Hill. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just in the first sentence. And then once they've counted them all, then you can discuss what the reason behind the capital letters. So that's just a fun way to go through it so that they do understand what the capital letters are, the names of the capital letters, and the reasons why. And if they understand the reasons why there are capital letters, then as they are moving up in school, they will know when they are doing their writing assignments, writing letters, writing essays, whatever it is that they're writing, the rules for when capital letters are used. And starting them off early, it kind of cements that in their minds that is when capital letters are used. So again, with this story, you can talk about the setting, which we discussed as we're doing the story or the picture walk through the book. And the one thing that I'm not sure if the children do understand is camping, the concept of camping. In Canada, that is a form of a vacation, spending a vacation in a tent or a camper, and going to like a place where it's not very populated, and being able to go and enjoy the nature that God has put around us. So that's what this book is about. But again, I'm not sure if that's something that the Liberian children know about. So that's something that you may have to describe for them. Again, there are lots of descriptive words in this book that you can use, the different concepts in this book, even just big lake. Obviously, big is the descriptive word. The hike is hard. Again, they're hiking up a hill, so it's a hard, and she's huffing and puffing. So going through and describing what is happening in the book will help the children comprehend this story better, pointing out the different things, the different animals, the fox, the skunk, and the chipmunk, pointing out that this hill is very steep, and so that is why she is huffing and puffing and lagging behind her brother and her dad. There's a lot of location words again in this story, in every story, a lot of location words. She is behind the rest of the family. What is behind Dad? It's a backpack. Who's wearing a red hat? It is Tim. And it's on top of his head. So there's just so many location words, which I will let you find out. And again, if the children in your group have no problem with location words, you don't have to use them. If they have no problem with describing words, that's okay. You don't have to use them. But most children that are 3, 4, and 5 years old, they they'll benefit if they have those words mentioned and highlighted for them. There are emotions in this story. So as you can see here with the animals, they are beginning to get concerned about Kim, that she's so far behind the rest of the family. So there's concern, they're worried. And then at the end, when Dad and Tim wake up, they are surprised, happily surprised, that they got all the camp set up. So there's a lot of emotions as well, and some kids don't need help with emotions because they do understand them, but some children seem to not really clue into the emotions of the people around them. And the reason why it's important for them to understand emotions is because that's a social thing. So if they can't understand an emotion, then they're not going to understand that maybe what they're saying or what they're doing is upsetting another person, because they're not reading that person's facial expressions. So emotions are a very important thing for them to learn, and the reasons why people, or in this case animals, have those emotions. Again, there are many questions in this book that you can use if the children struggle with the who, what, where, when questions. Questions also help with comprehension, reading comprehension. So in this on this page, where are they hiking? Where are they walking? It is in the forest, up a hill. And who is hiding in the bushes? We have fox, skunk, and chipmunk. So asking the questions that they have to actually really look in the pictures to try and find the answers. That helps with their reading comprehension. Being able to see the details in pictures is going to help them later see the details just in writing or as they're reading. And that is Camper Kim.